Good evening, my yummy gummy bears. I am Adina. You guys are Beyond the Veil. And tonight we are going to do some readings. I have been on my little break. As you guys know, the last time you saw me, I was venting about some things that I was going through in my personal life, some things that I've been going through here in my professional YouTube life. And I needed to take some days off because I was really overwhelmed. And what I was experiencing all at once was just too much. It was too much for me. I needed to take a few days off of life, doing readings and things like that. I mean, like doing readings on YouTube. I still did personal readings while I was away. But before I start, because this reading is going to be on Cassie, before I start, I just want to give a follow-up to the last message that I did when I was explaining some of the things that I was going through and some of my frustrations. I would like to say that a win for one psychic medium, no matter if it's me or if it's someone else, is a win for all of us. There is a psychic medium that has become really popular because of a P. Diddy reading she did. And as I was explaining in my last video that I did before I took a break, myself and this psychic medium I used to follow her. I mean, I used to subscribe to her. And we have interacted with each other in the comments. So I did a Lady Kim Porter reading in May. She did one in June, and they were almost identical. And I unfollowed her back then because I felt like I inspired her reading. Not saying that what she came up with in her reading wasn't because she copied off of me and she's, you know, she isn't gifted, because she is gifted. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I inspired her to do that reading, because 6 months ago, nobody was, you know, the conversation around Kim Porter, who passed away in 2018, had died down. Nobody was reading her, but she came to me and asked me to read her, and I did. And someone with a bigger platform piggybacked off of that, I felt like, and then blew up. And that had me a little bit salty. But after I let my lower self have its moment, my higher self stepped in and said, you know, what's for you is for you, and what's for everyone else is for everyone else. And even if you did inspire that person to do the reading, you know, I have my own subscribers who ride for me, who believe in me. I know because I did a personal reading for one of them last night, and she said so. And that's all the validation I need. And the spirits co-sign me, because I get blessed whenever I am obedient and I continue to do these readings for them. And my subscriber gave me a little bit of encouragement when I was feeling low and feeling like I don't even want to be bothered with YouTube right now, if that's how people get down. But she really just pushed me to continue doing this for my subscribers, all 232 of you. I'm grateful to have you here. So with that being said, we're 4 minutes in. I'm going to do a couple of these tonight. So I would like to, while everyone else is still sipping P. Diddy's tea, you guys, my subscribers, we've drank that tea before, and now we're pouring up another cup of something else. And check out my community tab, because the readings that you don't see a video on, I most likely have done it on my community tab. I recently just did a reading on the Combs twins, P. Diddy's daughters, P. Diddy and Kim Porter's daughters. I did that today. It's on my community tab. There are lots of readings on my community tab outside of the readings that I post as video. So check those out, and that'll get you caught up. Check out my P. Diddy recorded video and all the readings I did on him on my community tab. Check out my Madam Kim Porter reading to get caught up on the P. Diddy stuff, because I would like to start looking into the people surrounding him now. That gives me a bigger picture of what's going on, other than just continuing to reading P. Diddy, because I've read him so much that now he's catching up to the things that I saw for him when I read him in the past. So now we're going to go a few steps ahead and look around him as well. Starting with Cassie. You just got, what is it, an $80 million, around $80 million settlement with Diddy? Girl, I hope you are continuing to hide out, because he was looking for you prior to you coming out and doing this lawsuit, as if he knew that you were going to do it. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what comes out in this reading, but I do see that there were henchmen of his looking for you. They feel like law enforcement. I don't know if it's LAPD law enforcement, but they feel like law enforcement that work for Diddy and his equally powerful friends. I most likely will be having my head covered every time I do certain readings. This is one of the readings that anytime I read Diddy or anyone associated with Diddy, I will cover my head. When I read the dead, I'll cover my head. But I just did some juju on myself, on my head. And so it's important for me to cover my head while the juju is jujuing, while I'm healing myself. So I'm just going to hop in and start looking into Cassie. Cassie, what is the energy surrounding you currently now that you have defeated Diddy? Cassie has defeated Diddy. It feels like in her spirit she's celebrating, but in her physical action she's low-key. That's what it feels like. Cassie, I wonder if I'm going to need my bell to ring her up, since she is hiding. She has gone back into hiding. She came out, did what she needed to do, disappeared. Because that's the only thing safe for her. And she knows that. And if she thought she wasn't safe before the lawsuit, listen, it doesn't matter that Diddy has all these eyes on him right now, because he has such a vast network. He can allegedly get somebody touched and it won't even look like it has anything to do with him. Cassie, my hands are cleaned with Florida water. I am here in the woods, somewhere where Diddy will never know exists. This town is small. This town is not very known to the elite, although there is one elite who lives here. He lives here so that he can hide as well from Scientology. You are safe here in my neck of the woods, Cassie. You are safe here. Come into my cards. What is the energy surrounding you, Cassie, now that you have defeated the Diddy? Something nobody else has ever been able to do, you have done. Cassie, come. She says, can you just read my energy and not my soul? No, come. Come, Cassie. Cassie is even afraid, allegedly, to come into my cards because Diddy has been in my cards before. She sees, I did a reading. I don't know if I was reading Diddy a video or if it was one of my post readings where I said Diddy likes to hide, but when he comes up in the form of a snail. He has this big shell over his back and head, almost covering his head. And he comes in very slow, like a snail. I see a snail, but he leaves goo behind him. Cassie sees the goo from Diddy being in my energy before, from me calling him. So she was apprehensive about coming into my energy because she sees Diddy's residue here. But he's gone. He's not here. You're safe. Cassie doesn't want me to read her because she thinks I like Diddy. I don't like Diddy. His energy is very interesting to read, Cassie. You are safe here. Don't make me get my bell. I'm trying to get you to come in here nicely so you can speak your truth. You are safe here. Diddy don't run team here. This is mama's house, not daddy's house. Okay? I'm trying to keep my chi-chis covered, but Cassie, girl, you gonna make me mess around and nip slip the people. All right, Cassie, get on in these cards. I ain't gonna tell nobody where you are. Okay. We're gonna see. Cassie is very reluctant for me to read her because she thinks I like Diddy. Because I have read him, and I have said before that there are two people that I have read before that I personally don't like. Diddy ain't one of them. And that's not to say I'm a fan of him or I'm team Diddy. It's just as a psychic, as a medium, I dibble and dabble in people's energy, and there are some people's energy that I feel like I just don't like. Diddy's energy is interesting to read, and obviously so, because he has so much shit going on. Cassie, current energy. Cassie is afraid of her life. Typically, the death card is not taken literally when we pull it in readings, but in this case, and this is a Scorpio card, Cassie feels like Diddy is out for her. She feels like him relenting so quickly was a bad omen for her. Something about him letting her have the money, not saying letting her, he didn't fight. Something about letting it go so easily, she feels like was a trap. Because methinks, allegedly, he had been looking for Cassie to get rid of her, allegedly. But her and her man did a good job at hiding themselves. Diddy's people couldn't find them. She popped out of nowhere with that lawsuit. He gave it to her for two reasons. One, to bury all the things that he's done that she could bring up. Coming up on the horizon, there's a sun peeking up, so she was about to expose him. He relented to bury that, but also methinks it's like waving the flag and the knight on the white horse, it's almost like to let her feel like peace. But in reality, her having this money makes her stick out like a sore thumb now. So he can find her. At least he feels like he can find her now that she's got this money from him. She had to pop up to get it. Somehow, she feels like he will be able to find her and finish her off. Crossing her because of the money. Because of the money. Recent past. Methinks Cassie and Diddy could not rest. I feel like Diddy probably knew that something like this was gonna happen. Methinks that Cassie somehow sent word to Diddy, not directly, but it's like if she keeps in contact with someone that he knows, she might say something to them that she knows that they're going to take back to him in order to let him know, I'm willing to stir some shit up. Be ready to pay up because I'm ready to stir some shit up. Whatever she was saying to this person, she knew that they were going to take it back to Diddy, and it wasn't outright, I'm going to sue you. But whatever she was saying, they knew that he would be able to get the drift. This also gives me an idea of where Cassie was hiding, but I'm not going to say it. See, Cassie, I told you. Cassie, her near future, Cassie is going to spend the rest of her days in terrible, terrible, terrible fear for her life. Because she forcefully tamed the beast. She offed with his head on. She put his head on a platter. And she knows the beast that she woke up. Cassie is very, very, very aware that allegedly Diddy is out for blood, even more so now because she got him. She got his money. She beat him and took his money in the process. Girl, as above, this is Diddy. The Emperor in reversed. He is employing, has employed, always will employ every method at his disposal to control the people around him. This is a powerful man who is cruel, who abuses his authority, abuses his power, abuses people. We'll dig into why this is out because there's so many things that can be said about that card in relation to Diddy, but there's something specific in that she sees him as. I'm gonna get to that. So below, this is the same energy in that card. Again, I want to say that Diddy has allegedly law enforcement officers who are still very much under the oath, but still very much crooked and work for him and his network. Diddy will send him out. This feels like a law enforcement hitman. Diddy will send him out. Diddy will send him out, or Diddy has sent him out. Cassie, all of these major arcanas are out for Cassie, not surprisingly. Advice, current actions. I'm going to have to come back to that too. But it feels like Cassie feels like she took one for the team. Cassie feels like a martyr. That's the energy that I feel screaming off of that for right now. Her external environment. Diddy. Diddy is everywhere in this reading. I'm reading Cassie, but it's just Diddy's energy. No wonder she was reluctant to even come out for me to do this reading. The girl is terrified. Hopes and fears that the money is not the death of her. Final outcome. Methinks that Cassie can't even do anything with this money. Not right now. She can't do anything right now. I'll come back to that. Let me just... Okay. Current energy, death. Justice in reverse. Eight of Swords in reverse. Seven of Wands in reverse. Cassie feels like this isn't justice because he's going to find her. She feels like this settlement wasn't justice. Because she thinks that now he's going to be able to locate her. I would like to think that, I don't know what Cassie thought was going to come out of this. But me thinks that Cassie is even more afraid now than she was before she filed the lawsuit. Something that, let me look and see what this Justice in reverse is, because when they broke up, me thinks that Diddy paid her to disappear. I don't know if she took it. I think that This feels like, see, Cassie, there's somebody that you should have stopped talking to when you left Diddy, because they play both sides. Methinks that you recently found this out, and methinks that this is a woman. Methinks that whoever this person was, it's the same person who you used to keep in contact with, who you knew. Like, this person would pretend that they were team you, but you knew that they were playing both sides. And you would say things to this person knowing that they would go back and tell Diddy certain things. Almost like to send him veiled threats. And you will, or you have had to now stop talking to this person now that you got the money, because you can't afford for them to tell where you are. Not that this person knows, but it's like, it was dangerous having communication with this person before, but it's even more so now because he's pissed. He is pissed. Something else about him cleaning house is in here. I did see him offering his harem, including Carisha, settlements, because none of their services are needed anymore. He dissolved a lot of his old crew. He's cleaning house, but something about that scares you, because it's like, you know that he is like a wounded animal now. This is weird. I can't really follow, to be honest. I can't really follow the intricacies in this. Let me move on to the Five of Pentacles reverse, challenging. This I feel like see, somebody sold you out. Somebody ratted you out. This woman who also used to rat out Kim. She looks like a water sign woman, or someone that has an emotional attachment to Diddy, has a soft spot for him and his team Diddy. See, something about you having to come out and sue him, you had to come out of hiding. You had to come out of hiding into the public. Somebody's following you, or at least you think so. I'm getting the energy of a valid threat, a current valid threat, a current valid threat, current valid threat. Methinks that it's currently going on as we speak. That there is someone or someone's looking for you, like they followed you. You had to come out into the world to go to methinks. See, I don't know if you and Diddy had to sit down with each other and sign papermen documents, even in the presence of others, but wherever you had to come, they were able to get eyes on you, and they haven't been able to get eyes on you in a long time. I get the energy of being followed. I get the energy of being followed, watched very closely. All right, recent past with this Temperance. See, Cassie, before you left, you effed some shit up. When you and Diddy broke up, this is why when you left, he was so adamant in finding you. Because before you left, some ish went down to where everyone knew that you'd be a problem if you weren't found. I don't know what you did because I can't really follow it here. But before you left with this Temperance in reverse, you effed some shit up in the Diddy compound to let them know that you were not to be played with. It seems like you had to do something drastic in order to get out. And whatever you did, it afforded you to be able to get out. But you knew you had to hide because whatever you did, you knew it wasn't going to go down easy. I don't know what you did when you left. You took something. When you were in the relationship, you were taking something. Money. Diddy gave you money, but you weren't allowed to save it or stash it away. But you were stashing money away for a rainy day and some other things. Some other things that incriminated Diddy and his associates, allegedly. And after you left, something about once you left, they went looking for him and knew that you took him. Diddy was pissed and sent his henchmen out to find you. And he would not be satisfied until he did, but he hadn't been successful in finding you. See, these are like old law enforcement officers, maybe retired. Some of them retired, some of them still on the job, but corrupt cops. Near future. Strength in reverse. Again, I'm sorry, but I really don't even need to go through all of these cards. And I'm not going to, because we're already at 35 minutes. The only message that I keep getting, no matter what details come out, because I could go through the details, but they're sketchy. And it's almost like they have to be sketchy so that I don't say something that can cause Cassie to be caught. And it's almost like the way she's speaking. It's the girl is terrified. The only thing I can get from this reading is that she's on the run, and what's sad is that this woman has children. What's your advice position? Let me see that. I won't say what that is because it's explaining the actions that Cassie is currently taking to conceal herself, and I will actually leave that out. Her external energy, Two of Swords in reverse. Diddy is looking for you. He hasn't found you yet, but he's looking for you. Again, he sent... Who is this Queen of Cups? Because after you left, Cassie, I don't know if you trusted this woman. I think you did until now. But you should have never trusted her, because whatever you was telling her, she was holding it in and then going back and then delivering it to Diddy. This is a woman who was betraying you, Cassie. Someone very close to Diddy. They both come out as water signs, so I get that they're like minds, like energies, like a name I want to say, but I'm actually going to read this person maybe sometime tonight. This person is on my list of people to read, so I won't say that person's name unless it confirms, it's confirmed when I read them. But this is a woman who is very much like Diddy. Very much like Diddy. A woman version of Diddy. Final outcome. I actually want to... Who is this King of Swords in reverse? This looks like an ex-police officer who Diddy has on his payroll, who he pays to go and do things for him. This is who Diddy allegedly employed to go and find you. He is using, again, his resources in the judicial system, authorities. Because I'm looking at him, the Emperor in reverse, as above, the authorities. And so below is that officer I'm talking about. Final outcome for you, Cassie. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. King of Pentacles in reverse. You got all this money, but you're not going to be able to spend it, because if you do, you'll get caught. The Cassie has all this money. She's not going to be able to spend it. So Cassie will be living a very, 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 very low-key life. Whatever money she has, we won't be able to see the fruits of it until maybe her children are grown, or until the people who are after her are no longer after her. She can't spend the money because it's attached to Diddy. It is like a GPS. The money is like a GPS. And maybe there is something on or within the money causing it to be tracked. All I know is this will not ever, ever, ever sit well with Diddy. It's not something that he'll ever let slide. Even if 10 years goes by and he lives and he's still out and he seemingly treats it as if he has let it go, he's only 10 years closer to achieving his ultimate goal of getting his get back with Cassie. And that is Cassie's energy. She is fully aware now that her life was in danger before, her life is in danger now. She didn't really do this for the money. She did it to start something. She did it to start something. She did it to start like a Me Too movement. I said that she was like a martyr. That's why she did it. She did it for all the others who could corroborate her story and others' story as they pertain to Diddy and his friends. Cassie said, if I go down, I'm taking all of you with me. And I just may go down, but all of you are going down with me, because in her heart, she was destroyed a long time ago. And even though she's a mother now and has a family of her own, Cassie is destroyed on the inside. The damage that was done to her is never going to be healed. No dollar amount is ever going to heal the damage that was done to her. She's dead on the inside already. She did this for the others. She did it for Kim. She did it for his daughters. She did it for the other women in his harem that wish they could get away. They've been dismissed now, but before, they wish they could get away. She did it for the artists. She did it for the countless victims that we know nothing about. That's who Cassie did it for, even though she'll spend the rest of her life on the run and not even being able to do anything with the money that she got as long as Diddy is on the streets. And with that being said, that is Cassie's energy right now. Prayers up to her, because it's like having to go into witness protection without the protection. Good luck to you, Cassie.